Hello everybody, my name is Pauline Stainer and I'm the South Australian BDM with CHU. I'd like to welcome and thank you all for attending our fourth webinar of the year, Underinsurance and the Importance of Valuations. So today we have Fatima from our underwriting team online to answer your questions. And for all questions, can you please just pop them in the chat and will be answered by Fatima as they come up. And if we don't get a chance to get to all of your questions today, we will follow up with you individually. So today's presentation is presented by Paul Quitchen, New South Wales BDM at CHU. Paul has nearly 13 years experience in the insurance industry and he's been with CHU for 10 of those years with previous roles as the underwriting team leader and underwriting account manager. Currently, Paul is a business development manager for New South Wales and ACT, and he has been involved in product training, product testing, and compliance. Paul was passionate about delivering customer satisfaction while adhering to underwriting guidelines, ensuring that we provide an excellent customer experience. As part of the distribution team, Paul enjoys both worlds as a business development manager while still being actively involved in underwriting. I'm in Adelaide, which is founded upon the homelands of the Kaurna people, and Paul's in Sydney, which is home of the Gadigal people. In the spirit of reconciliation, CHU acknowledges the traditional custodians of the land on which we live and work throughout Australia, and their continuing connection to land, sea and community. We pay our respects to their elders, past and present and emerging, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders peoples. So why choose CHU? So most of you would be aware now that we're obviously a multi-award-winning company. We've been doing that for a few years and we've had continuous growth after over a 45-year span of history. Besides the wonderful people that we have at CHU, we're also invested in making technology a priority as well. So that's with our StrataTech platform, providing the self-service opportunities. And we also have live chat. We're also utilising AI to support these services now as well. And that's a very big priority for us. We also have a new drone and LiDAR inspection service available through CHU Inspect. So keep an eye out for that one if you haven't heard of it yet. And we also, something that we've been working on in the background is our environment sustainability policy. And we're very committed to that and being a sustainable company. And we do have a charter being released soon. So that will be available on the website once it's released. Our products here, you can see for both CHU and Flex are all available on StrataTech, and there you can quote, bind, endorse, print documents, view claims, etc. And we're always providing, providing additional support through our other services there. So our CHU Assess, CHU Consult, CHU Inspect. So thank you once again, everybody, for joining us today. And I'll now hand over to Paul to present on underinsurance. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Pauline. Hi, everyone. So on the agenda today, we've first got underinsurance, and that will cover things like what is underinsurance, how common is it, what is causing underinsurance, and what does underinsurance mean for the owner's corporation. I will also have a couple case studies that I'll be talking about, and then moving on to valuations, why you need to get a valuation and how to prevent underinsurance. After valuations, I'll also be talking about StrataTech, specifically the ClaimsView function, which we have. Okay, so starting with what is underinsurance? Underinsurance is when the sum insured or the amount of a policy is not enough to cover the total cost of the building, repairing, replacing, and whether it's damaged or destroyed. The sum insured on the schedule is the maximum amount we will pay out in the event of a total loss, And in the event where the sum insured is exhausted, unfortunately, the additional costs fall upon the owners to cover the shortfall. Okay, so how common is underinsurance? So this statistic here basically shows that construction costs have increased around 17% in the last year. And the concerning matter is our data is showing that around 42% of our policies are maintaining the same sum insured. A lot of our policies are indexed at around 3 to 5%. However, given the increased costs recently, it's a good idea to arrange a valuation to ensure that your property is insured correctly for the full replacement and reinstatement value. I've seen a few examples now where we have received current valuations, and in some cases, the valuations are coming in at almost 25% more than valuations done on the same complex within the last 2 years. So now is a good idea to get a current valuation done on a property. Okay, so main drivers on underinsurance. I'm sure a lot of us can see a lot of examples where everything is just more expensive to fix. Parts and labor costs have gone through the roof. I know of a particular example with me personally where I've gotten a quote on a renovation for my home, and basically the quote I got from the same people a year ago was like 30% more than when I got it recently. So that's just like a small example on a small little renovation. But this expands further on to actually rebuilding like a total complex, and even repairs, if caused by any damage. So it's a combination of rising CPI and building costs, and this is what causes the inflation with the underinsurance. Okay, so this slide shows a bit of our data on increased building costs. The construction has risen when we've overlaid it with CHU's sum insured change. It's clear that the sum insureds are not keeping a pace with the CPI on the construction costs. One of the main reasons for more expensive construction is the shortfall in building contractors, high demand for materials, driving significant inflation for construction costs. This leaves the customer uninsured if valuations are out of date. And I would say if your building has not been valued in the past 12 months, there may be a likelihood that it's underinsured. But I'll talk a little bit more about this later on in the presentation. Okay, so we've all heard, whether it's through the media or through other means, the increase in catastrophic events. We've had some extreme weather events in the last few years, and the severity of these catastrophic weather events that's becoming a trend. Notably, recent floods and bushfires back in 2019 that continued this trend in catastrophic events. Pricing models are continually trying to get up to date and are already factoring climate change. As mentioned already, this trend in catastrophic event claims appears set to continue, which is why we're planning ahead so we can sustain in the long run. Okay, what does underinsurance mean to an owner's corporation? So the simple matter is, in the event of a major loss or catastrophic event leading to damage or destruction of the building, any shortfall would have to be covered by the owner's corporation. So next, I'll be showing a few examples of this. Okay, so in this case study, we've got a townhouse in Adelaide. This dates back to July 2022. The sum insured, a relatively small sum insured, 255,000. This townhouse was damaged by fire. CHU arranged a number of quotes to reinstate the property, and the main ones come in at 282,000. CHU provided a cash settlement in this particular case of 255,000. but the owners had to secure finance to cover the shortfall in the $20,000 to complete the repair works in this case here. Again, you can see the damage doesn't even look like it's a total loss. These things can be misleading. The damage can extend further into other parts of the building, which would no longer be useful, or would have to be replaced anyway. So this is just another case, but I've got another one here. Okay, so this case study is a commercial building in Perth back in 2020. The sum insured is just over $1.2 million. This strata complex was extensively damaged by fire as well. Again, quotes to reinstate the property were close to the sum insured during this time, especially during COVID, which had an impact. The price of materials, the cost to reinstate the building increased. The sum insured then became insufficient, and the owners are going to be left with the shortfall again to cover this. Okay, moving on to valuations. So why are valuations important? For some states, it's a legal requirement, but not for all. Makes good sense to get your building valuation conducted on a regular basis. Around 2 or 3 years is a good idea. Again, this is not advice or anything. You should seek your own advice on this. But as you saw in the graphs previously, with the increased costs, now is as good a time as ever to get those valuations done. Okay, and it's I'll also say it's also a legal obligation for the owners corporation to ensure there is no shortfall in their sum insured. So any shortfall, as mentioned before, goes onto the owners. Okay, so what should a valuation include? Evaluation should be done by someone that is qualified and should include things like removal of debris, professional fees, and allowance for cost escalation over a period of time. The term someone that is qualified, isn't very specific. So you should seek advice and check the valuer's records just to make sure that it complies. But the things I mentioned there, like those removal of debris, professional fees, they're the sort of things that should be included in the valuations. I know some people get valuations based on market price. That's not necessarily a good idea. Market value is not really taking into account the rebuild cost of the property. It might determine, the difference between land value, which shouldn't be included in the sum insured, and the value of the property. But it's those additional items that I mentioned before, with the removal of debris, professional fees, that should be calculated into the full replacement of the property. Okay, how to avoid the risk of underinsurance. If there are any known renovations or additions done to the property, that they should, of course, be picked up. Things like solar panels, tanks, and other common area upgrades. If in doubt, just notify the valuer, as these should form part of the sum insured. As mentioned already, every 2-3 years is a good idea to get a valuation. And just be aware of any renovations that are done. A valuer may not always be able to access areas in the property, and they may not be factored in. CHU do have lot owners fixtures and fittings, and this is per lot, which we fit into our policy. But again, like I said before, if in doubt, you can always mention it to the valuer when getting it done. Another good idea is also to get a second opinion. If you believe that the sum insured that's been provided on evaluation is is too much or under, it's always a good idea to get a second opinion to make sure that the building is insured properly. Okay, so now I'll be moving on to StrataTech and a ClaimsView demonstration. I know this is a bit off topic. It's got about as much to do with valuations as the current price of fish, but it's something that I've included here, which we're doing now. Okay, so StrataTech provides you access to see information we hold on all your policies. You will see the option for claims in the main menu. Simply enter the claim number into the search and this will generate the claim. However, please note any liability claims or sensitive claims with political or legal ramifications may not be visible on the system. So in this case, please just contact CHU claims team to discuss. Okay, the benefit of using ClaimsView is that it now allows you to view the information surrounding a claim in real time, including its progress, notes, payments, and more. This is the same system CH uses internally, meaning any update or action to a claim will be available for you to see. Once you have selected the claim, this will bring you to the claims detail page, which I'll go through in more detail in the next couple slides. But this will basically allow you to see in this picture here, you'll see number 1, the claims number, lodgement number. 2 is the claims officer comments. 3, policy details. 4, incident details. 5, claimant details. 6, claims payment details. 7 will have attachments that can be viewed and downloaded, such as loss adjusters reports, and any other correspondence will be there. Anything that's been sent that you wanted to access, that'll also be available. Auto emails that have been sent, which I'll explain later as well. And the financial status at number 9, the financial status displayed. Okay, so once you enter the claims detail, this is what you can expect to see on the starting page. Starting at the top left icon shows the claim number and also shows an icon. In this case, it's a green icon indicating a residential policy. To the right, we have the date reported and the current claims status section. Claim statuses include open, meaning this claim is in progress. It could say closed, meaning the claim is finalized, and denied, which is self-explanatory. The claim has been denied. The top right-hand side of the field has a policy number, and the highlighted section on the right, on this page, this allows you to scroll down to the section you want on the claims detail page. The claims officer comments section shows notes we make as we update the progress of the claim. This will supply you with updates on how claims is progressing. Every time the claim is actioned or reviewed, there will be a new comment here. Okay, the policy details section is self-explanatory, but will show key bits of information related to the policy, like the policy number, inception date, expiry date, strata plan number, excesses, and the other covers selected on the policy. Below this, we have incident details. This contains the important information around when and how the loss occurred, including information on the type of loss, the date of the loss, a description of the claim, and the specific excess applicable. Okay, in this second slide, we're still looking at basically the same claim here. We've just scrolled down the page to the claimant details. This is where we have a record of site contacts so that our claims team and contractors can both make contact and scheduled works or attendance with specific owners for damage to their lot. Under claims transactions, we have a list. We list the reserve and any other payments that have been made, including amount paid, the date paid, and to whom it's been paid. The attachment section, that stores any documentation relating to the claim that may need to be referred at a later point. This can include assessors, contractors' reports, scopes, quotes, claims lodgements, email correspondence, and more. The last section here is just order emails. This is basically already pre-filled emails where we simply add comments relating to repairer updates or request additional information or follow-ups. So this basically outlines the functions of ClaimsView. It's designed to be user-friendly as possible, but our claims team is always available should you need anything else in the matter. Yeah, as mentioned before, everything you see here is basically what our claims team see. So these updates go onto ClaimsView as they come through. There's not really any notifications, but anyone can access this and you can go on there and see these details. For anyone that doesn't have access, please contact your local BDM or CHU directly and just advise us, and we can organise a login for you. Okay. So thank you. This concludes today's presentation. Thank you for your time and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.